I think also, well, two things. One, you have to find someone, whether it's a mentor, friend or mentor, have to find someone that's already doing the stuff so you can learn. It doesn't make sense to trip if someone already walked 10 miles before you. Just follow their steps. Yeah. They already said a pothole there, you go to the right a little bit. But also, I think you can't lose, but it can be delayed. So, for example, if you buy right, so like I was telling you, all properties we buy them off market, we get them as cheap as humanly possible. So when you buy right and buy cheap, you're never going to lose. Even if you like borrow a little too much money or, spend a little extra than you thought. If you bought, let's say, for example, you plan to spend $50,000 on this property fix up, end up costing you $70,000. But if you bought the house for $50 and it's worth, let's just say, $250 when it's all said and done, even though you spend a little bit more money than you thought, it's still a whole lot of room left over. So
where do you get the money to maintain the property while you can't sell it? You didn't have no money in the first place. You leveraged the property to get the loan that was expensive in the first place. Now you can't get out of the property. So you can't pay off the loan that you didn't have the money for in the first place. So while, once again, this in theory is absolutely true. You hang on to a piece of real estate long enough, it's going to appreciate to a point where, you could get some money back. But how much money would you spend in the meantime just to stay in the deal? Where does that money come from? When you're over leveraged on the credit card because you couldn't pay that back. You can't get rid of the house, so you can't pay off the hard money loan that you used the credit card in order to be able to get into. Where is the money coming from to maintain the property so that this fallacy can become a reality? If I'm missing something, somebody tell me in the chat. Y'all not telling me that I'm wrong on none of this stuff. I'm usually off a little bit on something.
Do in our business, we make sure that we get it cheap as humanly possible. That way, if we call it oh shit money, we can build in oh shit money within the deal. So if I'm factoring in a 15% contingency, 20% if something goes wrong, we already factored it in. Yeah. So that way, if the deal goes over leverage, like we're still going to make money. The problem is
factor that in. The bank factored in the reality.
He says 70% loan to value. So what that means, if you have a property that's
if anybody's ever built a home before, like I have, you do know that no matter what you factor in, you're not prepared for the surprises that show up because an inspector turned you down and now you're 2 weeks behind schedule. That's going to happen at least twice during a build. Oh, the contractor didn't quite factor in some of the costs. Now there's extra money there. Oh, the lumber yard didn't do the takeoffs properly. So the lumber was way more expensive. The electrician that you brought in comes in and sees the actual job. And now what he really lays his eyes on is going to cost you more money. The plumber ran into a problem in the street and couldn't connect the plumbing to the street properly. So that's going to cost you more money. All of these things are hopes and dreams. Oh shit, money. It sounds great. That ain't factored in. That's not extra. That's not special. That's in the business plan. It's contingency money. What happens when you can't get rid of the property and the contingency money that you build into the business plan for the property is already gone?
When everything is said and done worth $100,000, the lender will give you up to 70 grand. That means you got to buy it and fix it up within the 70. You buy it for 20, put 50 into it. Buy it for 50, put 20 into it. However you chop it down, that's your max. We buy deals 65% of the LZ. So we already under what you give. So that way, if the deal goes south a little bit, 1%, now you 1% over. We go over 1%. We go over 3%. We still under the math. Yeah. So like, I think it just comes down to making sure like, don't be all fast, just buy right. But the only way you really gonna know that is you tap in with somebody that's telling you that information and just not be so excited. I think people get so excited and just like, I just want to buy something. I just want to buy something. Older guy told me this not a long time ago, like 2 years ago. He said, wrong with y'all generation now, y'all want to buy a house just because it look cool. It does look cool though. Yeah, like the hell yeah, it looks cool. But you know, but then you in jams where like, dang, so more to bring the whole thing full circle, your bag may be delayed another month or two, but you're not going to lose because you bought it right the first time. Now, some people buy messed up, and then they at the closing table getting a check for $1,000, or I've seen people where it got so bad where they was negative at the closing table selling it. Yeah, because they bought super wrong. Like, yo, Shands said he got a deal for me in Atlanta. Like, it's Shands, I gotta buy it. Like, they attach your brand to the deal. That's two separate things. Mm-hmm. So that's stuff that
I like that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I guess tell me about what you guys are doing together in terms of 4 Hour People. One, I think this is very valuable, and you guys have 3 different perspectives and 3 different expertise to help someone paint a picture on how they can make some money. So tell me what it is y'all doing and how they can be involved.
So it's a 5-day challenge. So within the 5-day challenge, the first few days, we're going to show you pretty much how to build up your credit profile the correct way and then get funded up to $50,000. Some people may even go up to $100,000, but we're like not guaranteeing, but we're giving you the exact steps, the exact blueprint, the exact detail to go ahead and get $50,000 that week. And then we're going to show you exactly step by step how to find these deals cheap, so you can start putting offers in on properties that week. Show you how to find, commercial buildings cheap, so you can put offers on that stuff that same week. So it's amazing because it's not just showing you how to get funded, or I'm just showing you how to find deals. Because if I show you how to find deals, then you're like, where the money coming from? Yeah. If I just show you how to get money, then you like, well, what do I do with it? Because my 12 months interest free is starting. My clock is ticking. So we combining all of this stuff together in one powerful week to where now, like our last challenge we funded like $1.6 million that same week, and people was getting properties under contract.
What you mean?
They funded 1.6 million that week. Now, I've dealt with enough business funders to know that if your credit card stacking, 1.5 million. There we go. Times 20%, because that's typically what they're going to charge you, 20%. That means they made $300,000 from the idiots who allowed them to do this to them. And so those idiots, if they didn't end up getting into a property or something like that, they still got the money. But because they then had to pull the money off the credit card in order to pay for the funding that they got from these dudes, you in debt no matter what. They got $300,000 plus whatever y'all paid for the course, which I think from the website looks like $500, $497. So let's just say that they had 150 people buy the course. 150 times 497 is almost 75 grand, right? 75 plus the 300,000 that they made allegedly from the funding. They done made $375,000 to split 3 ways. And they didn't have to go look for a property. They didn't have to put up their information to get funding. They did not have to hire a contractor. They did not have to hope for a sale from a flip. They did not have to find tenants to put into those units. They just had to run the course. These dudes are geniuses. They're geniuses. Or at least they're spawns of the geniuses. If y'all ain't starting to get this shit, I don't know what but I'll keep doing these. If this is valuable information, I'll do another one of some different dudes, and we'll see if they sound any different.
You funded.
So we basically broke down all the banks and all the steps to go ahead and get funded. Gave them the information. Y'all do this when we log off this challenge. It's from 7 to 8. 8 to 9, and then VIP come in earlier. When they got off, by the time we got on the
Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention what happens to the people who come into this scenario from the IG pages who have 450 credit scores, 550 credit scores. Oh, no worries. We'll just send you over to the homie who does credit repair, which is really a credit sweep. All they're going to do is have you file identity theft fraud. They'll go ahead and sign the police documents for you. They'll file the FTC claim for you. All you got to do is wait 30 days for your credit report to be cleared. So now you've done federal crime. You've gone into debt for 20% of whatever funding you got. And now it's your responsibility to run the plays, figure out where the deals are. Or I'm sure they have a way for them to figure out where the deals are for you, which probably cost you another arm and a leg.
It is a sickness. Woo!
Facebook group in the morning, it's just screenshots
my
of,
God.
hey, I got 20,000, hey, I got 30,000, hey, I got 40,000, hey, I got 20,000, hey, I got 30,000, hey, I got 40,000, hey, I got 20,000. Like just nonstop screenshots on screenshots on screenshots.